Well, a very warm welcome to RPTV. I'm joined by Nick Watts and Graham Rodway. I'm, of course, Longshot Ted, and we are looking at none other than the Paddy Power Gold Cup at Cheltenham on November the 16th. So then, gentlemen, you can tell I'm excited. I'm sure you are too. Dynast heads the market at 6-1. I suppose the big question is, will he or won't he run? If he does, of course, he will come here with strong claims, Nick.
Yeah, massive claims. So, I wouldn't look any further than him for the winner. Would he run? That's the big question. He's got the option of the Betfair Chase, which comes a bit later. Missed his engagement at Wetherby last week because he didn't work spectacularly, apparently. Now, there might be reasons in some people's minds for taking him on because he'll be similar to Long Run a couple of seasons ago. He got beat. He'll be similar to Grand Cru, that kind of type of classy horse who's going for a handicap. But I don't think it's fair to really compare him to those two. I think Grand Cru has proven to be quite fragile, much more fragile than Dynast, who held his form really, really well last season. And Long Run, yeah, he was beaten third, but it's probably never the right race for him. As you can see now, he's a confirmed stayer. Dynast has a lot of speed. He jumps really well. He won easily at this meeting last season on his chasing debut, Thrashed Union East, who's gone on to be a good horse. So if David Pike gives him the go-ahead, and it's still a big if at the moment, I think, I've got a feeling he might go to Haydock, but if he does turn up, then obviously he ought to take a lot of beating.
And Graham, would you be tempted to take the risk at 6-1 that he does turn up? I mean, after all, though, he is running off 162 here. It's a hefty ask at the weights.
Yeah, it's an awful price, 6s. I think I can't really see why he's so short. As Watsy's already said, we've already seen Long Run get beaten in this. We saw last year very, very similar type Grand Cru, who, albeit Watsy was saying, he thinks Dynast held its form very well and might be a tougher type than Grand Cru. I'm not so sure. I mean, you could have said the same about Grand Cru last year. So you could have said, well, Grand Cru held his form very well for his novice year too. And then he went completely off the boil. I tend to think that although he's got the class, you don't want a horse that's stepping back in trip, having seen what's happened to those classy horses recently. He's coming back from 3 miles and they tend to go a good clip in this race. And whether he would be, I know he's got high cruising speed, but I'm not entirely sure if he would be able to lay up. So I think he's a terrible price.
Okay, well, we're ignoring Dynast for the time being then. And look, John Spirit is the price-wise selection, Nick. I mean, one with aplomb last time, didn't he? I mean, travelled, oozed charisma, up in the weights. Is he up to this?
Yeah, he could be. Just made me laugh a minute ago. G-Rod, I thought marriage might have calmed him down, but he started off immediately slating Dynast. So I think we're on for another season of slights on horses. But no, good stuff. But yeah, John Spirit, like you said, won really well at the recent meeting. I'm not quite sure he's got the class for this. This looks a very good renewal to me. Even if Dynast didn't go, for example, you've got others in there. Festival winners, you've got Rajdhani Express, you've got the likes of Captain Conan, who might go, for example. Beneficent is in the entries. These are really cracking good horses.
Finian's Rainbow's like
Finian's Rainbow off top weight. You wouldn't rule him out if he's back to his very best. So, for me, although John Spirit did win well at Cheltenham last time out, he's still quite a way down the list, and he needs a few to come out. And I think he does need to step up.
Okay, well, Graham, I mean, we can't really mention the Paddy Power Gold Cup without mentioning the Pipe family. Obviously, Ballynagor's been talked up in some quarters, but I know there's another one in the Pond House stable, which you're pretty keen on for this contest.
A quick look on Betfair before this forum, and Salou Flow is remarkably short in the market for a horse that hasn't run for almost 2 years. I haven't seen him since he won the Burn Group Plate a couple of seasons ago. He absolutely hacked up that day. He had any amount in hand. And the long absence doesn't worry me at all, especially coming in first time out, trained by David Pipe. How many times in the past have we seen this sort of thing from the Pipe yard? They bring these horses back off huge layoffs and to come right back to their best. I remember Cypher Mortar winning it and then bringing it back 3 or 4 years later when everyone thought he'd gone, and him coming on to win it. And if Salou Flow, there's plenty of confidence behind him in the market. I just get the feeling that what is going to happen here is Dynast isn't going to run, Ballynagor's not going to run, and Salou Flow is going to crash in price and may even go off favourite. I can just see it happening. I think he's already got better form than those a lot of those above him in the market.
So you think the scope in his price at 14-1?
I think there's massive scope in his price. I can see him being the big pipe gamble. There always is, every year almost, the big pipe gamble. Last year it was Grand Cru. I remember Shooting Light years and years ago. Time and time again, you see these pipe horses, they target this meeting and they target this race. And I think Salou Flow is going to be the one that is going to be the go go for with it. I'm sure this Ballynagora is in the same ownership and absolutely bolted up in a race just before the Cheltenham Festival, but then disappointed at the festival. I don't think he's going to run. I think he needs desperately soft ground anyway. So Salou Flow is a far better horse than him. He looks like the one that's going to be the pipe gamble. Plenty of scope at 14s.
Okay, so Salou Flow for Graham at 14-1 then, and Nick must bustle this along. We'll go to Ireland for your idea of the winner here.
Yeah, Hidden Cyclone I think is quite interesting. Shark Hanlon's horse, really, he's been highly rated for years now, so it's about time he actually proved his worth. And last season, you know, it started off well. He only went off 10-1 for the Lexus, which was a great race, won by Tidal Bay, of course, Sir de Champs, Flemenstyle, all those kind of horses in it. Well fancied for that, didn't come up to scratch. Disappointing for the rest of the season. Hanlon said recently he didn't think he had him right for a large portion of last season. And he did win very well on his comeback at Listowel, jumped nicely, which has been an issue for him in the past. He hasn't always jumped fantastically well. That's a slight concern in a race like this. You can't afford to miss fences out in the heat of a Paddy Power. So I really hope that he has kind of matured. I think he has got the ability to get involved if the jumping stands up to scrutiny. So Hidden Cyclone is interesting for me. Another one, Third Intention. Me and G-Rod both quite fancy this one. If it goes again.
It's the mantra of the race, isn't it? Will they, won't they run?
If it goes, it's had a wind up, and I thought there's a lot to like about his performance when it beat Rebel Fitz. He was a very good horse at Cheltenham last time. Got really good form in the book from last season. And yeah, technically he's a novice, but he had so much experience in top races last season. I can't imagine that a Paddy Power chase would faze him unduly. So if he ran, Third Intention, a big player.
So we're going Salou for you then, Graham. Now, this is where I do get absolutely slated because you know how I'm going to tip. And leaving sentimentality aside, I desperately want Champion Court to win this race. But on all known form, he goes really well fresh. He's got an exemplary record at the track. And I'm just looking through the market, what we've touched upon of the will they, won't they run saga. Well, he's pretty much, Martin Keithley said this week, he's a confirmed runner. He's going straight there. And by all accounts, I can see 7 of the 10 horses that are around him in the market not turning up on the day, especially if Dynasta's. And he's 14-1. My argument is, back him each way. His price crashes. He goes off 7-1. He'll probably jump around and finish third. But I think, by all accounts, you're getting a horse you know he's going to go there, and at a price it probably will be twice the price of what he is on the day.
I could just refer you to last year's Ryanair Forum. Absolutely guaranteed to run well and not win.
Okay, well, I'll take that. We'll settle for that. Anyway, we'll have to draw this to a close, but it's been a pleasure to be back in the studio again. I'm sure these are the familiar gentlemen to my right will be keeping you warm throughout the winter. So anyway then, we're going with Salou Flow, Hidden Cyclone. I'm on Champion Court. Whatever you're going with, best of luck and see you all again soon.